It's as big as any film set I've ever worked on.
There's huge crews, it's quite noisy.
New planets, new characters.
This is a wild ride.
Dune Prophecy takes place 10,000 years from now and 10,000 years before the birth of Paul Atreides.
The High Council now welcomes the Emperor of the known universe.
One half of our story really focuses on the Imperium, the government that controls the universe.
As a leader, Javico Carino has a bit of instability on his hands.
There is a shortage of spice because of some sabotage at Arrakis.
The great houses are concerned, and he needs to placate them.
If I lose control of Arrakis, the great houses would feed me to the worm. Carino's exceptionally good at playing the politics of everything. That's how he's survived as emperor for so long. But you learn that the emperor is struggling. He relies heavily on his truthsayer, Kasha.
She is the right hand of the emperor, but also her allegiance is to the sisterhood.
You wish to serve the great houses and shape the flow of power. You must first exert power over yourself.
The Sisterhood is a precursor of the Bene Gesserit. It's an institution that uses its influence to guide humanity down a certain path.
The Bene Gesserit in the movie is very much shrouded in mystery. The exciting thing about Dune Prophecy is we're allowed a glimpse into the characters there.
In our show, you get backstory on two really huge things, the Bene Gesserits and the Harkonnen family.
The Harkonnens have a certain reputation, and it's fun to kind of figure out how the Harkonnens became the Harkonnens that we all know and hate.
I will never bend to you.
What I love about this story, it felt like a political, historical drama. Except that because it's set in space, all the main players are proper anti-heroic, badass, nasty women.
Lots to look forward to in this show.
We've never seen a force like this.
We must act.
There's a lot of tension and drama.
Visually, it's very thrilling. Dramatically, it's thrilling.
What do you want?
To wipe out every trace of the sisters from our world. That is why I've been gifted a great power.
Everything to love and nothing to hate.
You mistake me for someone afraid.
The Imperium is a circus of fear and rumor.
No one can take your power away from you unless you let them. When history is written, how would you like to be remembered?
Dune Prophecy begins 150 so years after the Great Machine Wars.
It was basically like a war against AI.
The machines are defeated by the human race because they become too powerful.
After the Machine Wars, what grows up in the Dune universe is a kind of neo-feudalism, and power is very unevenly distributed, and there are the great houses that hold significant access to spice and to wealth.
All the great houses have their own kind of fiefdoms that they lord over. They're on planets. At the center of it is the Carino family.
Carino has to balance the will of all of the houses, and he's kind of being undermined.
The game has to be played. You can have an ulterior motive, but there are rules that you have to play by.
We are all just pieces on the board to be played in the pursuit of power.
The conflict between House Atreides and House Harkonnen stems from the Machine Wars.
And it's disputed what happened. The Atreides accused the Harkonnens of betrayal.
If you've watched the film, you'll be expecting anyone with the surname Harkonnen to be almost unhuman, but we're showing the more human beginnings of House Harkonnen.
These people, they have a very complicated history.
Valia was born with a sense of injustice.
It's a shadow of what we're going to see in the Harkonnens later on, where they're completely devoid of any empathy or moral compass. They've got it in a sort of embryonic form.
Dune Prophecy begins 10,000 years before the birth of Paul Atreides.
It's a very different time. House Atreides is yet to be established, though the Atreides name is trying to work its way back into power.
House Atreides haven't really stepped their foot into the political game as of yet, but more to come.
All the great houses are jockeying for power. That is always present.
They are always conniving and scheming behind the scenes.
You have shifting viewpoints on these characters. You feel like they're obviously the good guys, and then events occur that change your mind about that. It's one of the great strengths of the show.
Valia Harkonnen. You will see the burning truth.
Visita mi canal.
As we are exploring the origin of the Bene Gesserit, it was important for us to start out at the seminal moment of the sisterhood.
It was founded by Reverend Mother Rakella, and her shadow falls very heavily over this series.
This is the moment young Valia Harkonnen stakes a claim to the sisterhood.
There's been a power struggle when Rakella died. Valia feels she has no choice but to stop Dorothea, and she has developed the voice.
Me and Emily discussed it a lot, and I always felt that the voice was this ability that we all could have when you need to survive or defend yourself.
I worked with a voice coach to find a sound that had a sort of resonance to it. It's like having a molecular connection with the intention of the other person, so she can say to you, stand up, and you'd find yourself standing up.
I don't think it's something that she relishes doing, but felt was necessary for the sisterhood to lead humanity forward.
The sisterhood takes a dark turn.
Valia is now running the sisterhood and training young women. They learn truth-saying, and they learn martial arts.
It was a very, very hot day with rain machines and wind machines blowing at us.
We did first a dry run just with the wind, and then we added a little rain, then we added more rain.
Anna, director, actually also did the rain test with us.
I'm telling you, if I can do it, you guys can do it.
And that was sort of the first instance that I felt like, yeah, this is a collective, we're a sisterhood.
Valia grows the sisterhood. She grows its presence in the Imperium. She's working to exert influence behind the scenes.
We are preparing to receive Princess Ines, and we have manipulated her wedding, and then she's going to come and train with us.
The princess will spend quite a number of years at her school, and it will give Valia a chance to really secure her allegiance to the sisterhood before the princess takes the throne.
So I have pretty much achieved everything that I set out to achieve. And then suddenly, like dominoes, everything just starts going dunk, dunk, dunk all around.
Havico feels like this wedding that's happening is kind of being done against his better judgment. But he needs the combat ships that he can use to fight the insurgency on Arrakis.
While he fears what Duke Rechesi will do as he gets closer and closer to the throne, he will lose all political capital if he doesn't get the situation on Arrakis under control.
Ines is actually quite satisfied because she knows what she wants, and she wants to go to the school.
They've created such a bond with each other where Ines looks to Kasha as a mother more than she does her own mother.
The fact that Kasha sees potential in Nes, that means the world to Nes. She's very inspired by the sisterhood, and especially Kasha.
Kasha is a truthsayer, and she is the right hand of the Emperor. But her allegiance is to the sisterhood. Kasha knows there's something that's off with Desmond, but she's also really transfixed on his eyes, and she can't look away.
For Kasha's vision, we wanted a tremendous feeling of dread and a sense that this wedding was a mistake.
It's not the first time she's had a vision. This vision is so strong, and she knows it's important enough to jump ship and convince Mother Superior to stop this wedding.
I can't afford to listen to her. This is the right match. This is what is going to set the universe on the right path.
I feel one of the most important themes for Tula is the regret she feels for not believing Kasha's prophecy. We should have read the signs, really.
When Pruitt and Kasha burn simultaneously across the galaxy, it's extraordinary and horrifying at the same time.
Yeah, it's a bit weird when your character has to kill a little boy. Little Charlie is the actor. What a little talented bloke he is.
The burning is a massive achievement of our VFX team. We were horrified and also impressed with what they were able to do.
We added dampness and wetness to the hair and the skin, so it's like sweating and then steaming.
We shot the scene using a unbelievable model of burnt Kasha. It essentially looked like her and it felt like her. It was a dreadful scene to have to film.
No one's seen this before. So clues that are stacking up that this is something more than just an anomaly.
As Kasha is burning to death, Valia realizes this is the reckoning. And then she's racing to try and find the cause of it, what it is, what's behind it.
We definitely are operating firmly in the gray area, where everyone is concerned.
People want to make the world a better place, but at what cost? How ethical are the methods?
I have a line. Perception and reality are not the same. We guide one to shape the other.
Solus Secundus. Pruitt Rashesi is dead. Burned. A second attack. Tula. This is the burning truth Mother Akela spoke of.
The wedding has crumbled, and Valia's plan to put his sister on the throne is in jeopardy.
With Kasha gone, I have to secure the princess. Someone has to protect our plans. I can take care of things here.
There is that sense that Valia's treating Tula a bit like the kid that can't keep the peas on the fork.
Valia does trust Tula. She just would love to be in control of everything.
Hard choices will have to be made. When have I ever shied away from hard choices? It's one that involves Lila.
Tula is incredibly reluctant to put Lila through the agony. She's not ready, she's vulnerable, she could die, and Valia makes her do it.
We need you to talk to Mother Akela.
Lila's always wanted to know who her family is. She feels like a bit of an outsider. She's seen people come in to the sisterhood from these families and they know exactly who they are. When she finds out it's Raquella, it's the highest honor, but immediately a lot of responsibility is placed on her shoulders.
They're using you. Sisterhood above all, not sisters.
Jen is very anti-establishment. She's very wary of someone telling her how it is.
Emmeline and Jen butt heads a lot. They really come from opposing views of the world.
Human life is sacred. There's no greater honor than to give it.
Emmeline sees a lot of potential in Lila, and through Lila, she might get access to Dorothea, Emmeline's icon. So she has a little bit of an agenda of her own.
As Lila has to decide whether to undergo the agony, we learn more about the relationship she has to Tula.
I used to pretend you were my mother.
Well, I'll tell you a secret, so did I.
Lila really looks for solace in Tula and comfort.
Lila is told the only way to reunite with her mother is to go through the agony. And that's the piece that they use to make her take the big step towards it.
For Lila, the agony was so far into the future, so when it's quite daunting.
Chloe's an amazing actress. She wasn't afraid to go deep and touch the darkness of the emotions of the scene.
She starts to think about, is this really going to be the end of my life? When she lies on that table and Tula is there,
just follow my voice.
She knows that she's going to get through it.
I've been waiting for you.
Dorothea throws her off track.
In the second episode, Desmond is still kind of a mysterious presence.
You made your feelings regarding Pruitt Rashesi and the wedding very clear.
Desmond's way of political operation is he's going to tell the truth about everything he does.
I did not tell you to kill that boy, but you wanted me to.
The Emperor wants nothing to do with that because that could get him in great trouble.
This is madness.
Desmond Hart starts to feel like a fanatic to him.
Guards! Arrest him!
There's a lot of fireworks underneath the surface of Valia and Desmond's first meeting.
Did you kill Reverend Mother Kasha?
I saw the corruption in her heart. The same way I see the blood trailing your every step.
She is enemy number one for Desmond.
Valia knows that there is a power working behind him that she hasn't discovered yet.
See?
But she knows if I just keep following the logic, I will find it.
Thank you, Mother Superior. I think we've heard all we need to.
Natalia doesn't trust the sisterhood. She sees Carino as being almost involved in a kind of coercive relationship. There's a sense of intrigue for Natalia about Desmond. It's really about political expediency.
Why not let me show you how I would humble those who try to take from you?
He quickly learns that he has a weapon, essentially, in Desmond Hart that can be harnessed and used to Carino's advantage.
Carino is slipping through our grasp, and he needs to be reminded of our value.
Power is very unevenly distributed, and the great houses hold significant access to spice and to wealth.
Great houses are forcing the people to turn to violence to get what they need to survive. Don't doubt for a second my allegiance to the cause.
The rebels want to bring down the Emperor and distribute everything fairly.
Inside the middle of that rebellion resides the sisterhood.
We empower the great houses to maintain order and allow rebellion to keep that power in check.
The sisterhood is like having the perfect person next to you playing chess with them. They can give you all the answers, but you don't realize that they're the person you're playing chess against. When Desmond comes along, he kind of like flips the board over and he's like, new game.
House Carino no longer requires your services.
Valia assumes she will outmatch Desmond.
Take out your blade. Drive it into your throat.
Desmond is resistant to her power.
I always wondered what your greatest fear would be. Now I have seen it.
What is really driving Desmond is one of the central mysteries of the show, and something we'll have to explore as the series unfolds.
10,000 years before the birth of Paul Atreides, we founded a sisterhood.
The opportunity to tell a prequel story allows you to explore the early versions of the world building that takes place in the Dune proper story.
It is very important to navigate where Dune prophecy fits within the Dune universe.
Dune prophecy takes place roughly 100 years after the end of the Great Machine Wars, where humans overthrew thinking machines.
Computers and artificial intelligence became a scourge on humanity.
Basically like a war against AI.
Humankind was nearly wiped out by the thinking machines.
Coming out of this, there was a tendency to lean back onto the pre-computer time. So there has definitely been a new rise of an ancient futurism.
Well, that's what's great about Dune. It's unpredictable in its futurism. Sometimes it's anti-future.
That technology is forbidden!
The presence of technology is very inflammatory. People are very afraid of it.
The Imperium is really kind of shaped by the wars. It's something that threatens the harmony of what they have fought so hard to create.
In our series, we get to go beyond Arrakis and see other parts of the Imperium. We're going to look at the capital, Seleucus Secundus, Caladan, with the Atreides, Lankavale, homeworld of House Harkonnen, and Wallach 9, the homeworld of the Sisterhood.
In the world of the Imperium, Seleucus Secundus, it's the one that is less affected by war and strife.
The homeworld of House Harkonnen is called Lankavale. It's an ice planet. It's not a hospitable environment.
Wallach 9 is a very sterile planet.
Dune is very dry, our world is very wet.
But what this series does really well is it actually focuses on like humanity.
At its heart, it's a drama.
It's about power. It's about politics. It's about facing your fears and fighting for what you believe in.
I need you to know that I regret that things are the way they are. My name isn't Tula Vale. It's Tula Harkonnen.
We always knew we wanted to show fans an origin point for Valia Harkonnen and the Harkonnen family.
The Harkonnens ended up in Lankaville because they were banished there. They didn't have a choice. It's freezing, there's not many resources, and there's not much hope.
The usual.
We found a quarry to do the opening scenes in Lankaville. It lent itself to the Dune aesthetic almost perfectly. Not just snowy, but blustery, rigorously uncomfortable.
We wanted to keep it like overcast all the time, that kind of cold, desaturated, to help it feel that it was quite a brutal landscape to live in.
We see young Valia's separation from the rest of her family. Like they don't understand her, except for Griffin.
Griffin Harkonnen was very much a favorite son, someone that the Harkonnen family was betting on elevating their status.
You're really going to Zimia, Griffin?
The Landsraad accepted our petition. It's going to get us a better trade deal. Valia is unwilling to accept the fate of her family, and she wants Griffin to force Vorian and Atreides to tell the truth.
We deserve to make it.
We will. And it ends tragically. She firmly believes that his death was at the hands of Vorian and Atreides, so for her, the Atreides should no longer exist.
I want the Atreides to suffer like we have.
So Caladan was shot in a park in the countryside. It had this kind of lushness that I wanted, because we wanted to make it different than Lankaville.
We're first to arrive.
For the Caladan sequence, we talked a lot about how important it was to set up a really believable love story.
Emma Canning did a wonderful job at playing the intention of being in love with Ori and being conflicted by the request that sits there under the surface.
Her love for Ori has to rival the love and loyalty that she feels towards her family.
She allows herself this night of passion with Ori only to tell him the truth, but it's too late.
We do what we must.
Why is it so quiet?
It's important to always remember that this is the Harkonnen family. Valya and Tula are bonded by the tragedy and loss of their brother, and I think at that point she feels no choice but to complete her mission.
This is an absurdly dark and ominous request, not just to kill her fiancé, but to kill his entire extended family.
It shows you how good of a liar she really is.
True strength isn't always something you see from the outside.
The thing about Tula is she's capable of being underestimated.
She has tears in her eyes when she does something, but she still goes through and she does it.
When Albert comes, she just doesn't have anything left. Tula recognizes this animal that now will live, but only because of the tremendous damage that she has done to the Atreides family.
The echoes and the ramifications of that follow her the rest of her life.
I got your message. The message from Tula means that Valya can go home and she can get some kind of closure on this.
Valya owed it to her sister to see that through with her. But once it's done, she realizes there is no home for her on Lankaville.
You shouldn't have come back.
Something is really set free from within her, and she realizes that it's about herself and it's about her own journey.
She's willing to undergo the agony and potentially lose her life because it's her only way out.
Oh, I love transmuting the poison. It kind of ended up being like I was like giving birth. That's what it is, like you're giving birth to yourself.
Valya, wherever you are, come back, please.
At that moment, Tula chose Valya as the person that she would keep close no matter the cost.
She has this opportunity suddenly presented to her to be taken under Valya's wing.
Promise me the sisterhood will be a fresh start for us.
We have a new purpose now.
Council now welcomes Padishah, Emperor of the known universe.
We took a long time to design how we were going to approach this scene. You know, it was a big math equation. All these moments converge at the Landsrat. Richard Donnelly, my DP. He was able to light large sections of the room and then come in and get specific.
It's such a huge set, so to light all of the characters, not have any lights on the floor, was a great challenge, but I loved it.
Order!
Want order?
Let me speak of order.
There were a couple of important elements to get right. One of them was Travis's monologue, because I think we've been waiting to see what this Desmond Hart is capable of.
Oh, I was so excited about the way that it came together. Watching Travis do it was really like watching an actor mesmerize an entire room.
A Leviathan that rises from the sand. It is terrifying to experience.
It's an interesting scene because there's something of the converted preacher in terms of what he talks about his experience on Arrakis. For her, it's the show of strength that she feels is absolutely imperative at that point in time.
Once we learn that Desmond has this awesome power to be able to burn people up from the inside, it makes Carino incredibly confident and makes him realize that he has a weapon, essentially, in Desmond Hart.
Valya was hoping to use the spectacle of this attempted assassination plot. How Desmond is operating ahead of the Sisterhood or finding ways to counter Valya is part of the mystery of that character.
You know, she's not frightened, she's not recoiling as everybody else is from what's happening. She's going, he's bleeding. That means I can take his DNA and I can analyze it and find out who he is.
And that may finally answer some questions to his mysterious past.
Fortunes fade, nephew. Ousted from the palace, nowhere to go but the family she shunned.
The only thing fading, dear uncle, is your health.
Valya exists in an ethos of sacrifice. She has no problem asking other people to do it, and she will ask it of herself. To go back to the Harkonnen family, who she has not helped, she is going to do something for the greater good.
The Sisterhood would like to elevate House Harkonnen by offering you the services of a truth-sayer. There's a lot of unfinished business there. There's a lot of pain in relation to her family. So it's a very uncomfortable thing for her to do.
If you're a Harkonnen, you know that people are using you. You also know the Harkonnen ability to use others. So the fact that Valia is gifting him things is suspicious. He will know that. But it's all about who can use better.
Well, when we think of the scenes at the Harkonnen house, we think a lot of the conflict between Evgeny, who represents an all-knowing past.
You're a murderer.
And Valia.
Griffin was the only one of you who was ever my equal.
Yeah, Griffin is sort of a weak spot inside of a character who doesn't think that weak spots are useful.
Griffin went to his death because of your damned ambitions.
Emily and I talked a lot about this scene. She gets as angry and as resentful as we've ever seen her.
I will not apologize for what I did, and I will not apologize for my strength.
And then little by little, she starts to think about, what if I withheld this oxygen and let him die?
I think when Theo witnesses the depth of Valia's pain, she becomes willing to give her the gift of using her skill and offering a kind of emotional catharsis that Valia could have no other way.
If you're willing to make the sacrifice, so will I.
Theo is an experiment, an early day experiment by the Taloxan. She's able to kind of change, shapeshift into other people. That power is extremely painful.
It's horrific, actually. It's not a kind of enjoyable experience, which is partly why Theo doesn't want to do it.
For Theo to do it for anyone shows you how much Valia means to her.
Did I push you too far? Everyone makes their own choices, including me.
Thank you, Theo.
Now, more than ever, we need to defend our values with ferocity and pride.
Desmond being elevated to being a Bashar is like he's being designated as an official advisor to the Emperor in a public capacity.
Going after Michaela's safe haven was an obvious thing to do.
Let Desmond Hart come. I'm preparing quite a worthy greeting.
When you're shooting an action sequence and it involves, we're going to trash the set, it's a bit of an exciting day because you're not going to have endless opportunities to get it right.
Action!
Every fight in the show needs to be meaningful to the scene.
You give me something I can use. I shall spare your life.
The idea here was they needed to get out. It's like a linear scene. It's propelled forward, 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 forward.
The mayhem is like long cuts. It makes it feel more visceral and chaotic. And the way the spice den is built, sort of like grates upon grates. An explosion set off in the basement of it, reaching throughout the entire facility, was a fun idea to pursue.
I've seen a knife like that before. Sister.
Finding out Michaela is a sister is such a whirlwind for Kieran. He has the chance there and then to kill her. I think a lesser man would have done that.
It's really difficult for Michaela to play both sides. She just happens to have been embedded with these people who are fighting for a fairer world for the Fremen. But she has to believe the Sisterhood are doing right by everyone.
I've just had to destroy everything that I've built. Your investment wasn't wasted.
When we see everything play out in the way that Valia acts, she starts to question what Valia's intentions are.
It's not my performance that I'm doubting, Mother Superior.
It's always been sisterhood above all, but it starts to feel like sisterhood is very much Valia Harkonnen. And it's her above all.
In the penultimate episode, we needed somebody to come into the show and take a front and center role.
Francesca.
It's been a long time, Abiko.
Taboo is a Bollywood legend. The fact that she was willing to do it was a great joy for all of us.
Valia's always got her eye on the bigger picture. The Emperor, he's one of the pieces on the board that she has to control, and she needs Francesca's help to do that. Guide Carino back to us.
Francesca had a very specific task to gain the confidence and the love of the Emperor through imprinting, where sisters can exert a kind of molecular influence over another person through intimacy.
Give our son his opportunity, Abiko, and he'll become a man as capable and formidable as you are now.
Constantine's basically a dissolute son in the Emperor's eyes. He's not behaving as an Emperor's son should.
There will be opportunities. When they come, reach for them with confidence.
Constantine steps up. He takes the advice from his mother.
It reminded me of my purpose.
If you look at it from the outside, he's doing exactly what the sisterhood asked him to do. He is definitely manipulated for now.
I have chosen you, my son, to command my fleet. When Francesca asks him to take care of their son, he acquiesces because he's fallen back in love with her all over again. He regrets the fact that they're no longer together. That's never going to be a good thing.
Natalia is absolutely horrified when Francesca arrives. It's deeply wounding. The sisterhood coming between her relationship, not just with her husband, but also with her daughter, spurs her on to find a way out.
My husband's trust, my daughter's love, my power, the sisterhood wrested it all away from me. What did they do to you?
Every step or promotion he gets closer to finding his mother. He'll use anybody just to get what he wants.
Natalia decides to possibly manipulate that.
Let us rid the Imperium of these witches forever.
Your Majesty, I have news about your daughter.
What about my daughter?
I think when Natalia locks up Nez, it's tough love. And she really thinks that she's doing something that's about the greater good and also her daughter's future.
I don't believe that Natalia is planning on killing her daughter. But I think it's very questionable that Natalia and Inez can ever have an untainted relationship after this. That is also the reason why Valia acts immediately.
She knows that the only way that we can defeat Desmond Hart is to have the full weight of the Imperium behind us with Inez on the throne. And that means that Carino is surplus to requirements.
What do you think you're doing?
In the finale, we wanted to explore the final unraveling of Carino as an emperor and as a man, to one by one kind of remove the things that were propping him up until he had nothing left.
Every decision you've ever made, we made it for you. We sent you Francesca to keep your attention.
He's just a worm, the lowest of the low. So it completely destroys his whole perception of who he is.
Unwilling to accept that, unwilling to kind of live with that fate, he exhibits the ultimate free will.
It's a strange thing when you finally realize you've never known one true moment of freedom. But I can control this.
Natalia feels from the end of episode 5 on that Francesca has displaced her, and she sees a moment to reclaim her central power to the Imperium, and she is ruthless about it.
She's been betrayed. So for her, the reasoning is, why should I not betray?
We need to leave.
Not without him. I'm not asking.
Nez is essentially siding with the rebel. This completely pivots their relationship. They are together. They have each other's back.
Everyone had to be really precise, really on point. So, because they prepared so well for that scene before, and it's one of the last scenes we shot with them, so they had already like 3 or 4 months training, proper training behind them. So everyone from the performer side house was really skilled.
Dune is such a violent world. Whenever we would get to an action sequence, it was so much fun to watch the production come together and see Emily Watson voicing people.
Stay where you are!
And Travis on the move.
You say you've seen my end. Show me.
We knew that this machine virus was feeding off people's fear, so it only made sense to us that she would have to revisit her greatest fear.
Her original fear is, yes, she has saved her brother, Griffin, but is she also responsible for his death?
You did this. You killed me. You killed us all.
Tula arrives on the scene with the knowledge that fear is what this machine virus is feeding off of.
The harder you fight, the faster you burn.
Tula has learned with the experiment with Nazir that fighting the virus makes it worse. She guides her to not fight.
I see the worm.
What's his fear? Let it go.
She's left with only Desmond's fear, where he was taken against his will.
I saw it. I couldn't make out a face, but they're using a thinking machine.
They are for sure up against another player, and she sets off to find out who that is. The moment between Tula and Desmond is just so incredibly profound.
This was one of the rare moments where you just let things evolve. With Travis, you have an actor that is sometimes unexpected and unpredictable.
Travis acted that scene beautifully, and he hit that note between I love you and I want to punch you. It was brilliant to be forced to question my assumptions about how pleased he'd be to see me.
Arrest her. He arrested his mother, I think, just to keep her, you know, and make sure she can't get away this time. Desmond doesn't understand how a mother could abandon her own kid.
One thing that I do think makes Tula have a conscience is that you realise that she felt she couldn't bring this child into this dreadful family.
You deserve the chance to find your own path. What that is, or mine.
I'm so excited by where the series ends. There will undoubtedly be tremendous fallout from the fact that Dorothea has finally succeeded in doing what she set out to do, which is destroy Anarur.
I will return us to our righteous path!
Arrakis is very much exerting its pull from a distance. And so the notion that Valya would touch down on the planet and that we would see those sands is a thrilling place to conclude the season.
The path to our enemy begins here.
The way you know that visual effects are on set is at the end of the take.
Okay, reset. Have it standing by.
Two blokes come on with one grey ball and one silver ball and a colour chart. And you know that they're going to create something extraordinary.
The three goals that visual effects have in Dune Prophecy: first and foremost, reality. Second to that is grandeur. And then the third is world building.
We will probably end up at about 2,500 shots on the season.
There's not one scene that has no visual effects.
We all look at this. How can we use the environment that actually feeds the visual effect?
There's a set that makes physical coherent sense, and beyond that, there is a green screen for the outer world.
We're constantly thinking about how can we marry the practical and the digital.
And it's all about not knowing where one ends and the other begins.
We can't go to other planets to shoot, so we have to create that environment, that landscape.
Walk 9 is a desolate planet, unfriendly to live on.
They're using the rough weather and the starkness of the planet as training grounds.
A place like the Sisterhood, the building itself was digital.
Based upon the courtyard set and then established a complex around that.
We lean into mostly stone, very muted shrubbery, lots of mist.
You want this desolate, kind of dangerous feeling.
I run a school for young women. We're not a threat to anyone.
I love the set extensions on Lankavale.
We found a quarry, had huge mounds of sandstone that felt like they could be big mounds of snow.
Thankfully, we got some practical snow, so nobody had to fake being cold. It was freezing at the time.
Exciting stuff.
We've got these massive whales. We were able to manifest this midsection of the whale.
While some of it will play in camera, we'll build more of those digitally and then spread them out throughout the icy shores of Lankavale.
Most of our work on Caladan is going to be our big drone scope shot. We're taking some cues from landmarks in that part of the world. We're trying to just find something that feels a little bit fantastical.
Our Seleucid Bowl. You want to build something that feels familiar, but take some liberties to make it unique.
In our timeline, Seleucus Secundus is a very lush, beautiful imperial home planet.
It's one of our biggest environments. There are a number of different practical sets that make up the palace. And from there, we've expanded upon that.
The palace is a gigantic building. If I'm not mistaken, it's nearly 1 kilometer in width.
So grand that we had to build that in the computer.
We also have the opportunity to show a bit more of Salusa.
Where are we going now?
The last place anyone would expect me to be.
The slums of Zimia, where the Harkonnen apartment is. In addition to that, the spaceport.
We've taken some information from airports over water, created this really interesting, complex pattern, just making this center feeling that like everybody's coming from space to the spaceport and everyone's kind of disseminating out from there.
That's the biggest set that we built. Then we use visual effects to extend the spaceport into having a giant footprint.
You know, you think scope, and then you see scope, and it's quite different. I kept going, no way.
There's an established visual language, but at the same time, we're 10,000 years before that.
In our timeline, Holtzman tech has already been invented. So we're trying to give it a slight different look to both the shield effect in terms of when we have combat, but also to moments of playing out the Holtzman technology.
While it may feel familiar, it is unique. Shai-Hulud has been a topic of conversation from day one.
We wanted to make sure that it was immediately recognizable. It's an integral part of Dune.
Obviously, fans are expecting to see it, and we're trying our best to make sure that we live up to those expectations.
Our thinking machines are technology that we don't see in a regular Dune universe. Everything from what we're giving a peek into as far as the machine war and the actual battle machine that's there, to what we're seeing with Pruitt's toy.
What do you have there? The lizard. It was very important to know what the timing will be. How will it unravel? How is the head turn? And then how fast does it run? So we can block the scene with a speed that actually makes sense.
That technology is forbidden!
It's Raquel's great work.
Animal's going to be a really dazzling experience.
I could almost equate it to a forest of light. The trees are meant to be our file system for Animal.
It's incredibly important. The visual effects are in that conversation very early on because you have to know how to go about shooting that. How is it going to interact? What are the boundaries? What is the appropriate location to stage all of this stuff? Is there a practical location? At what point did blue screens take over?
I mean, what we're doing is make-believe anyway. You can see the cameras, you can see the cables, you can see beyond the set. So it's only a short hop to standing in front of a blue screen and imagining there's something there.
Still your breath.
For the agony, we relied on our incredible visual effects team to envision an awakening in a subconscious.
The agony is not a sequence that takes place in any kind of analog space. It's purely action within the mind.
They show you concept art and you can sort of place it and imagine it. Those are probably some of my favorite days filming.
When it becomes really fascinating is when the visual effects are having directly to do with the actor. Essentially, they're going to have like little dots on their face for CG to later take over.
The benefit of the tracking markers is to give us a point of reference to line up those markers to the CG model. We want to make sure that we're starting with something that is solid.
We have this virus that burns people from the inside out, but also affects the skin. We looked at what happens to human skin when they got hit by lightning. It's actually a very fern-like pattern.
Kind of showing it spread out through the veins and kind of up the body. At some point, it's going to eliminate the ability to scream.
You're aware of my circumstances.
Theo, she's been biologically engineered.
It's not a kind of magic, just becoming that person.
We're looking at Theo having a bit of an intermediary state, this almost amorphous being of sorts that then transitions, which allows us to truly show how painful it is.
I love it. I get to really pretend and do the make-believe and do the imagining.
To be creating another story in another corner of the Dune universe, we just had to ask the best from everyone working on it.
We have vendors all over the world. There's hundreds of different artists working on this constantly.
You work in collaboration with highly talented people.
Because visual effects take so long to produce, it's really a trust of faith. On this show, they've made me less of a skeptic.
Sometimes what's going on in your imagination can be more extraordinary than reality.
score is sort of the emotional heartbeat of the story.
To me, score is one of the most important things a film or television show has going for it. We really wanted people to feel immersed in the world and to have a signature sound for our show. We were lucky enough to work with Volker Bertelmann, who brought so many colors to our series. I was just carried along and transported by the sound into a new place. It was really invigorating and exciting to work with him.
I'm using classical elements like orchestra, string ensembles. Specifically for the emotional parts, I'm using the instruments that I think are warm and analog.
You deal with it on a kind of a scene-by-scene basis. You're kind of going through the episodes and you're picking what scenes need a cue, need a theme, need a motif, or what version of music that he's kind of written would work here in this particular moment to kind of help bring up the appropriate emotion in the scene.
I use a lot of feeling words, and Volker translates that into musical know-how. But we're always talking about what we want to feel in a scene, and he's a real visionary.
Volker also has a lot of ideas. What is he going to bring to the table? And you're always surprised. He always brings you something that's surprising.
I'm a big fan of risk. My inspiration is coming maybe from a childish approach to experiment and to search. Nearly every week, cellist and violinist coming to my studio, and we are having sessions where we just experiment. Can we take all the strings off? Can we just use one string? Can we turn the cello around? Can we use a rubber ball on the back? And that leads to a lot of sounds that will be a part of the score.
In this show, score is also setting up the sonic identity of the sisterhood. You want to think about what are the cues that score can establish that become iconic to the Bene Gesserit.
In the choir itself, it sounds like you have a supernatural person singing, has a lot of reverse inhaling or doing sounds with the throat, and that made it very connected with the voice.
I loved doing the voice scenes. I was so excited I was going to be able to play a character that delivers that to this world. We shot the voice in so many different ways. I'd have to take a deep breath and then say the line for 60 seconds.
In the voice, I think what we were trying to do is travel with the voice itself till it kind of hits the person it's directed at.
Pick up enough! We wanted it to be this very real, emotional thing that was angry.
Obviously, a lot of it is sound effect. It's the way we process the voice.
There's the actor's voice, and then there's different timbres and different pitches of voices that kind of stack into the voice commands.
I worked with a voice coach to just try and find a sound that had a sort of resonance to it.
Take out your blade.
Other memory is somewhere between the traditional idea of the underworld or the place where dead people go, but it's also a kind of living parallel universe.
Wanted to build out a cacophony of whispers that kind of flow like cicadas.
For scenes like that, I try to find surreal sounds rather than melodies.
How dare you!
I work with vocals that are pitch shifting. It's a little bit like vocals are raining from the ceiling.
There were so many soundscapes that needed to be realized and should have both an analog feel to it and then at moments a real sci-fi feel.
Dune Prophecy is a show of many genres. Outside of sci-fi, there's a horror, thriller vibe, political intrigue, there's a great deal of romance, there's a great deal of action. And the score is important in each of those things to kind of give us the right amount of tempo, seriousness, pitch, vibe.
It's very important that you find the themes and music that can actually help to move it in the area where it should be. When it comes to areas where I feel it has a little bit of a medieval feeling, I'm trying to get more sci-fi. Music can help with that a lot, because you hear something that is not fitting to what you see, but in a way it's also nice that there's something modern. Lankevel, the music is establishing this place that is cold and grim.
Not just snowy, but rigorously uncomfortable.
All that's left here is death and rot.
Kaladin needed to be separate from Arrakis or Lankevel.
You hear this very raw, distorted sound. I looked a lot in medieval instruments.
So much of what happens in the world of the palace is layer upon layer of subterfuge and artifice.
I use that theme that the balisette is playing. I use a lot of detuned strings, and so everything sounds a little bit off. With the desert, I used the contrabass with a lot of raw bowing. It makes a sound like somebody's under the earth.
I think the critical conversations you have with the composer in the beginning is, what are your motifs? Is there a Harkonnen motif? Is there a sisterhood motif? Does Desmond have his own motif? Desmond's motif, when you hear it, someone's in trouble. And that trouble is an extended version of torture. So the score has to kind of build and build and build.
I see, Mother.
Our sound designer created such incredible work for our show.
On the nightmare sequence, first of all, you ask the sound designer, what are you doing?
Your sins has brought the reckoning to our order.
These nightmares, they're meant to not look like dreams when we first see them.
Go deeper. It's about the essence, it's about the sound. Something is off.
There are some places where she's upside down, where I had the feeling that the music should actually cope with the space she's in. And with sequences like that, it's not always helpful that it's all on.
It's really about the sound of the sound effects and the volume and the intensity, how it works around the music. Who's the cart, who's the horse in the particular moment changes all the time.
I just try to find a way of working as a composition and then switching the sound design off, but also looking at the fact that it collaborates. I was encouraged to cross certain lines, experiment. The music can be another protagonist. And if you find that level, then I've done my job very well.
The Dune series is a touchstone for anybody who likes science fiction. The worlds are so rich, they're so developed, each one has its own unique beauty.
What was really important for all of us is to stay true to the Dune universe.
We had tremendous sets that provided such a reality to the frame that would ground our world.
I couldn't believe that it had all been made. I didn't expect the level of detail that went into it.
Having an actual set connecting rooms to each other, that's huge for actors.
You're using every single space. It feels like a play.
We wanted to create a world that was as real and situational as possible. Wallach 9 is a barren planet. We wanted to create an environment that really showed how tough these sisters are. We found this rock quarry. It had this beautiful, dark, gorgeous veining of rocks that feels like the rough environment for Wallach 9.
The Sisterhood complex is a huge, brutalist structure.
The interior of the Sisterhood is very austere. There's so much detail in there about how the Sisterhood was founded.
The Sisterhood courtyard. We had concepted this space and talked about building it on the back lot, but then location brought me an abandoned church from the pre-World War II era. The reverence of this space matched the concept work that we were doing. It just felt right. Also being outside, we had real natural skylight, real natural moonlight, and real weather. We were able to build something fully in camera that would have certainly been extended in CG if we had built it on the back lot.
When I stepped on set, I was overwhelmed. There was just like a reverence to see that all of this detail had been distilled down into like a room or a bed.
When you look at the stones, which the craftspeople here built one at a time, actually create this hushed environment within the sets because they do deflect the sound in many ways. And that also helps reinforce the reverence and the sacred ceremonial quality.
You can see the imagination that the designers have got from the books, and I was like, oh my goodness, I hope that my performance can live up to everything that's built here. It has definitely been an amazing experience.
In designing Seleucia Secundus in the capital city of Zemia, I really wanted to juxtapose this world to the world of Arrakis. We selected kind of a Mediterranean environment with a lot of ocean. I've used water as much as possible because I really want this kind of richness. If water is a commodity on Arrakis, I wanted it to be in such abundance that it was almost carelessly and richly available. In creating the Carino Palace, I wanted to create something that felt historical, but also felt very new. So I really went back to Greco-Roman architecture, and I looked at the proportions of many of the classical buildings and the way that they were built, often out of one material. There's a rhythm to the blocks.
They are so huge and epic, and I think that that's one of the most exciting visual aspects of the whole production.
We found an abandoned shopping mall that was 3 stories with a beautiful rotunda, and we were able to basically put our artificial walls and use that building as a skeletal system that we then clad with our palace architecture.
Every time I see a new set that I haven't seen before, the detail is amazing, and the craftsmanship is second to none.
As far as door casings and moldings, we created our own language. Same thing for the columns. And in order to create that, this is where the computer and the digital modeling was really able to be supportive. We were able to do slices and displacement maps that would be very difficult to do by hand, and by using the computer, we were able to do it with repetition and accuracy. Once we had the blocks built and cast, then we had the craftspeople put them together so it still felt hand-built. All of these were to create a neoclassical vibe. Lankavel is a wintry, very windy, inhospitable planet, and we wanted to feel this loneliness in designing the Lankavel world. It had to be a tough, hard environment. There are a couple of key elements. There's whale furring, which is pretty clearly described in the Brian Herbert books. The idea of like a woolly mammoth whale, which was something quite fun to create. All these animals that we created, we wanted them to feel relatable. As far as the homes and the architecture for Lankavel, I think something that felt of the earth, of the ground, that felt as base as possible.
The internal sets, they were actually larger than I expected them to be.
We found some basalt caves that were carved into the hillsides here, and we were able to rebuild some of those and cover some of the stone and create this kind of natural built environment. Caladan is a lusher planet. It's known for oceans, it has a lot of headlands, it's very beautiful, and we're centering around a hunting camp. We created these hunting lodges or cabins, and we wanted to just kind of give it just a little bit of a sci-fi vibe, but again, feel like something that you could see and believe in nature.
Caladan was shot in a park in the countryside. The main attractions of this park, it had this incredibly dramatic terrain. One of the challenges of shooting all those sequences was that we were never on flat land. So we'd have to figure out ways of shooting that were kind of inventive. It was a great location, though.
We've built some really wonderful, fantastic, huge sets and some wonderful worlds.
It's incredible to see the team, what they've kind of made from each one of their imaginations. It obviously all comes together.
The process is one of the most satisfying aspects of this show. The fact that we were able to really develop this world is what has really been exciting.
I started with pulling out references, making many mood boards, and then we started doing drawings. Without the fantastic team that I had on this project, nothing would be possible.
I'm always really amazed by the work.
I remember when I saw the costume for the first time, I'm like, oh yeah, that looks really cool, but how is that actually gonna work? And then you try it on your first fitting and you're like, oh, yep, it's incredible.
It's so important that the actors feel good in costume. It's a completely new universe that we are making, so we had to create everything.
Everything okay?
We're good. Are we good?
The most challenging and most important costume in the show were the sisterhood gowns.
I always wanted overalls and trousers, and then have novices, acolytes, and reverend mothers in different tones of gray.
The novice costume is a light grey, and then the acolyte costume is a slightly darker grey, and as you progress, the colours get darker because the reverend mothers wear all black.
You don't really get to wear costumes like that, you know, so I literally felt like I joined the nunnery. Yeah, it's amazing. When you see them in numbers, it's really, really powerful.
You feel strong in them, you know, they support you, but they're also feminine, which is nice, but you can move in them. They have these long capes that look fantastic in the wind, and they make this like really cool noise.
It sort of flaps like bat wings. It's just incredible.
We have a metal department which made our insignia for the sisterhood. We had fantastic girls from Italy who did all the printing for all our sisters.
There's a poise that suddenly you adopt. You see the character slowly coming together.
When you're dealing with truth-sayers, it's the iconic version of what the Bene Gesserit looks like. The most important thing are the veils. You want them to feel like a presence.
Watching Kasha, she sort of billowed with that extraordinary veil.
Valia Harkonnen, when she comes as Lucy Secundus, her gown is her batsuit.
The costumes on this felt very wearable, quite elegant. I look in the mirror and I scare myself.
It was like, yeah, this is giving me status. I'm standing here. These gowns are fantastic. And not just my costume. When I come onto a set, I look at the set and I think about how I can use it. And when I look at other people's costumes, the aesthetic of their costumes affects your senses. You know, I saw skirts swaying and also the way they moved with such grace.
It's time I show you my life's great work.
This is my tradition. I wore this when I first met your father.
For the Corino family, we had fantastic leather master who brought his laser cut machine. We were cutting leather, making designs, applying fabric on it to create texture. Again, the metal department made by hand, the insignias that represents the family power.
You were born to wear that uniform. Boyanna's vision is just so bold. She's really taken it back to these very powerful silhouettes. Some of the costumes are really interesting for Natalia. There's one which we called the birdcage, which was this sort of metallic, almost shawl, but entirely closed. And what I like about that is that it kind of describes the situation of her character at that time. There is a sort of transition that happens later on. One of them is quite extraordinary and it has its own cape. And it's sort of pivotal because it's very much at this point where her character is really transitioning into someone who's finding her voice.
Putting costumes on is a big part of transforming into the character you're playing. I love the whole idea of Ness not repeating an outfit. It's very princess. I thought that was really cool. I love the engagement ceremony look. I remember when I put it on, I kind of felt like being in a prison. One of my favorite looks is a greenish blue dress with a harness and the high leather boots that's like trademark Inez.
The costumes are so intricate and well made, and in a world where you need to be Emperor of the Universe, you feel the part, and then you walk on set, and there's any number of extras all dressed incredibly. There's almost no acting required.
The visual metaphors are always playing upon this subtext of contradiction. It's gloriously cinematic.
It's art to figure out how to take us to a new world and at the same time not feel like people are in costumes.
There's so many talented people involved in this process. Each costume that we made went through like 10 hands in our workshop. It was a long, exciting journey to create our world.
hair and makeup hold actors together.
Every character has a very distinct look to them.
We had a lot of discussions with the cast, because if you're trying to do something that they find doesn't work for their character, they won't feel the part.
I believe you are the key to this reckoning. You must be the one twice born.
With the sisterhood, they're working women, so you want practical styles.
I love the fact that the makeup is very natural. They're not really into vanity. It's about your mind, it's about your body.
I am Mother Superior Michaela Berto Adero.
Raquella is 110 and 130, so that required big tests with a lot of prosthetics, a lot of hair work, lots of contact lenses and hands.
When the part was offered, I was like, what are they trying to say? I'm not 120 years of age.
Mother Raquella's prosthetic is insane. She literally does look like 100 years old, and it's elasticated so it moves with her face as well, so you can't see the joint anywhere. It's brilliant.
Now, it's tricky with prosthetics because when you age someone up, it becomes very apparent where the cheats are. And both hair and makeup, they were able to create this really kind of solid look of like what a person that age would feel like, and also alien at the same time.
Valia. Grow us. Safeguard our power. Use every tool. The sisterhood must be strengthened, or it will fall.
What I loved the most was the way Michaela looked.
We really wanted to go there with Rebel Michaela. It is her playing a part.
Making the Imperium better comes at a cost. You ready to pay it?
The blue eyes are lenses. So I got these amazing custom-made, like painted lenses. I couldn't believe they're actually painted. It's so incredible. It's weird to think I've shot this whole show and then I'm gonna see it without my own eyes, but they will be my eyes? I don't know, it's a bit strange. We wanted there to be a huge contrast between Rebel Michaela and when we see her with Valia under the cone of silence as a sister, so that when people see it, they're like, where's all her hair gone and all this crazy cool leather outfit that she was wearing?
The new Bashar. Welcome. How about a little taste on the house?
I hope you haven't been relying on any illegal shipments of spice, have you?
Travis didn't want Desmond to look groomed. He didn't want any of that.
This is a guy who spent a large part of his life as a soldier. Weathering him and showing the scars of his soldiering days was important.
I should not be here. That attack should have killed me.
When working on Desmond's eye, we got some concept art from a contact lens designer and sent initial ideas off to production and also to Travis. Our first thought was a different colour, and then we went for a more subtle look of the scar in the eye. We used biological reference of someone with an eye scar as our inspiration. Lankerville, we referenced Inuit and peoples living in cold climates that tend to have really weathered skin. Snow is one of the hardest things you can do. It's making sure that their tips of their ears and the ends of their noses look colder.
I don't want to mourn. Florian murdered Griffin and now he's disappeared again. It's not fair. I want the Atreides to suffer like we have.
With Caladan, we wanted to give a modern look to it, so we put a lot of hair pieces in to give length. They're rich country folk living in this almost like Robin Hood world, but we did not want to do anything that sort of smacked of that kind of feel. Dipping into the future is much harder than doing a period production because anything goes and it's so easy to get it wrong. We have covered blood, prosthetics, beauty. We have dabbled our hands in everything, and that's what's made it so amazing.
All sisters have the ability to use these powers. Not yet. Okay, hang on. I need to tell you what they are. That's a good one.
The inspiration for the spice melange is LSD.
Yeah, 60, isn't it?
Maybe.
You don't know, right? Here goes.
Spice melange is actually inspired by psychedelic mushrooms.
Right. In order to be neutral advisors, the sisters are required to take a vow of abstinence.
Abstinence from what?
That's the
What do you
question.
think?
Everything.
Yeah, you're all correct. Because it's a lie.
Okay, every 600 years, the great houses come together and vote on a new house to lead them. Truth or lie?
I say truth. No, new house to lead them. Yeah, no.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Very sneaky.
It's a lie. It's a lie. There are no elections in the world of Dune. Duh.
Okay. House Harkonnen are the primary exporter of Von Duck's whales.
Is that it?
Yeah. It's true.
I didn't know that was their name.
Yeah. Is that a Dune thing or a real thing? You're the whale expert.
It's not a real thing.
It's not a real thing?
Well, they're furry whales, aren't they? We've discussed this.
Okay, so the spice melange is so popular in the world of Dune that big cities have spice dens where everyday people can get their allotment of spice. I'm afraid it's a lie. You knew that.
I know that,
All my scenes are in a spice den, so it's embarrassing.
Moving on. Dune prophecy takes place 10,148 years before the birth of Paul Atreides. True or false? It is indeed true. You're all correct. And the bonus fact is another word for 10,000 years is a decamillennium.
Decamillennium.
Yeah, which you'll be using in conversation almost constantly from now on, actually.
Why didn't I say that in my interview?
Sisters are required to take a vow of abstinence.
I think they're allowed to have sex.
Emma has the tea. They're having sex.
100%. To advance to acolytes in the sisterhood school, novices must pass tests in these disciplines: truth-saying, control of the mind and body, combat, and internal organic chemical control.
True. Yeah. No, that's not true because she was really rubbish in all the combat.
All the other ones. I think the answer is true, but I think you are correct in your analysis.
The answer is true.
Well, you were right. You are misinformed, whoever wrote these questions.
The great houses of Dune rely on mentats, humans that possess the cognitive ability of computers to complete complex calculations and store data.
Yeah, it's true because they haven't got computers, have they?
No iPhones here.
That's what they're made for.
It's true.
Mother Superior Raquel died after being given the Rossack poison. After she passed, the other sisters used her genetics to synthesize an antidote. Wait, Mother Raquel, lie.
That's a lie.
Lie. It's a lie. Yeah.
Despite coming from many different backgrounds, all sisters have the ability to use these powers. Truth-saying, the voice, internal organic chemical control.
That's definitely.
Yeah, it's a lie.
Can everyone not learn to do everything?
No, because not everybody can transmute the poison.
That's a good point.
Not everyone can.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
Next up, anyone who studies at any of the great schools of Dune must choose one. Students aren't allowed to attend training at more than
That's a lie. That's a lie.
What? No, that's not true, because Sister Nazir is a
soup doctor.
Is it soup or suck?
You are all right. It is a lie.
The House Atreides and House Harkonnen feud began when Varian Atreides had Abulard Harkonnen banished after the Battle of Karn.
Yeah, true.
Correct. I didn't really hear, but I'm going to go
Just
with the
say
crowd.
true.
The Harkonnens here no can attest to that is
True.
Yes.
So Pink Floyd was approached to do the soundtrack for the first attempt to adapt Dune to the screen. I want to say it was David Bowie, right?
It was Bowie, wasn't it?
It's true.
In order to be neutral advisors, the sisters are required to take a vow of abstinence.
Nah, not true. There's so many babies. Can I just clarify the definition of abstinence as opposed to chastity? Why do you know this? This is a Catholic school, isn't it?
It is a lie. Sisters are allowed to have sexual relationships and children, but it's all to further the cause of the sisterhood.
You could be like, yeah, it's furthering the cause, isn't it? For you, Valia, for you.
All sisters have the ability to use these powers. Not yet. Okay, hang on. I need to tell you what they are. That's a good one. The inspiration for the spice melange is LSD.
Yeah, 60, isn't it?
But maybe.
I don't know, right?
Spice melange is actually inspired by psychedelic mushrooms.
Right. In order to be neutral advisors, the sisters are required to take a vow of abstinence.
Abstinence from what?
That's the
What do you
question.
think?
Everything.
Yeah, you're all correct. Because it's a lie.
Okay, every 600 years, the great houses come together and vote on a new house to lead them. Truth or lie?
I say truth.
No, new house to lead them. Yeah, no.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Very sneaky.
It's a lie. It's a lie. There are no elections in the world of Dune. Duh.
Okay. House Harkonnen are the primary exporter of Von Duck's whales.
Is that it?
Yeah. It's true.
I didn't know that was their name.
Yeah. Is that a Dune thing or a real thing? You're the whale expert.
It's not a real thing.
It's not a real thing?
Well, they're furry whales, aren't they? We've discussed this.
Okay, so the spice melange is so popular in the world of Dune that big cities have spice dens where everyday people can get their allotment of spice. I'm afraid it's a lie. You knew that.
I know that,
All my scenes are in a space den, so it's embarrassing.
Moving on. Dune prophecy takes place 10,148 years before the birth of Paul Atreides. True or false? It is indeed true. You're all correct. And the bonus fact is another word for 10,000 years is a decamillennium.
Decamillennium.
Yeah, which you'll be using in conversation almost constantly from now on, actually.
Why didn't I say that in my interview?
Sisters are required to take a vow of abstinence.
I think they're allowed to have sex.
Emma has the tea. They're having sex.
100%. To advance to acolytes in the sisterhood school, novices must pass tests in these disciplines: truth-saying, control of the mind and body, combat, and internal organic chemical control.
True. Yeah. No, that's not true because she was really rubbish in all the combat.
All the other ones. I think the answer is true, but I think you are correct in your analysis.
The answer is true.
Well, you were right. You are misinformed, whoever wrote these questions.
The great houses of Dune rely on mentats, humans that possess the cognitive ability of computers to complete complex calculations and store data.
Yeah, it's true, because they haven't got computers, have they?
No iPhones here.
That's what they're made for.
It's true.
Yes. Mother Superior Raquel died after being given the Rossack poison. After she passed, the other sisters used her genetics to synthesize an antidote. Wait, Mother Raquel, lie.
That's a lie.
Lie. It's a lie. Yeah.
Despite coming from many different backgrounds, all sisters have the ability to use these powers. Truth-saying, the voice, internal organic chemical control.
That's definitely.
Yes.
Can everyone not learn to do everything?
No, because not everybody can transmute the poison.
That's a good point.
It's a lie.
Next up, anyone who studies at any of the great schools of Dune must choose one. Students aren't allowed to attend training at more than
That's a lie.
Well,
that's a lie.
What? No, that's not true, because Sister Nazir is a
souk doctor.
Is it soup or suck?
You are all right. It is a lie.
The House Atreides and House Harkonnen feud began when Varian Atreides had Abulard Harkonnen banished after the Battle of Karn.
Yeah, true.
Correct. I didn't really hear, but I'm going to go with the crowd.
The Harkonnens here and who can attest to that is true. Yes.
So Pink Floyd was approached to do the soundtrack for the first attempt to adapt Dune to the screen. I want to say it was David Bowie, right?
It was Bowie, wasn't it?
It's true.
In order to be neutral advisors, the sisters are required to take a vow of abstinence.
Nah, not true. There's so many babies. Can I just clarify the definition of abstinence as opposed to chastity?
Why do you know this?
A Catholic school, isn't it?
It is a lie. Sisters are allowed to have sexual relationships and children, but it's all to further the cause of the sisterhood.
You could be like, yeah, it's furthering the cause, isn't it? For you, Valia, for you.